Cue the cheesy podcast music.
Welcome to Megafest, where we don't just manifest, we Megafest. I'm your host, Megs Malloy. I'm creating a community of silly and soulful working moms who are mostly happy, but know they're capable of more. More self-love, more self-esteem, more self-trust, more calm, joy, natural highs, more magic in the world, and more laughter. Each week, me and my guests will bring you tips and tricks on how to make the most of your one precious life. And we're going to make them effective and efficient because ain't nobody got time for that. I believe in you. I see the light in you. I want you to shine your light. I want you to become all that you're capable of. So let's hang out. Let's Megafest together. Welcome to episode 10. Yay! Oh man, I have been down. I feel so tired. We got some really bad cooties. I got it first, then Carter, my husband, then my daughter had really high fever for 3 days, and then my son has a really high fever for 3 days, and it feels like it's been going on forever. I just got to give a quick shout out to these beautiful succulents behind me. Aren't they so beautiful? They have been working so hard to grow, and here they are making their debut on Megafest. I'm so proud of them, and I'm so proud of you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for all of your feedback and words of encouragement. I really am lifted up by them, and I really do need to be lifted up right now because I'm tired, but the show must go on. Not only is it flu and cold and germ season, it is the end of the year. It's the holidays, the craziness, the busyness of the holidays, and it's time for all the year in reviews. I personally love a good year in review. Just give it to me in a summary, and I love it. I was never one to consume the whole novel. I'm like, just give me the Cliff's Notes. I'll be good. I just want to hear the best stuff. So I am here today to tell you my best stuff from this year. Before we go into the best thing I learned this year, I want to tell you the word of the day. The word of the day is tranquil. This is anything but tranquil right here. But tranquil, for these purposes, means free from disturbance and agitation in mind and spirit, serene, peaceful, and calm. Ooh, buddy, those are all the things I want to feel. I'm editing out all the coughing, but so far I've had 3 coughing attacks just in the first 5 minutes. So I think we should keep a running tally, and you can guess at the end of the show. I'll let you know how many coughing fits did Megan actually have recording this episode. So far it's 3. The most life-changing thing I've learned this year, drum roll, I learned what to do with the voices in my head. Does that sound crazy? Let me explain. If you're like me, you are aware that you have an inner critic in your mind. That voice that is just constantly shit-talking you, telling you you can't do something, telling you why you're unimportant, how bad you look, how nobody likes you. What else does your inner critic tell you? It could be anything. All the things. So what do? Do we ignore it? Do we talk shit back to it? I mean, do you try to get rid of it? What do? I was always perplexed. Like, there must be an answer out there. There's got to be a way to make friends with your inner critic. But how? Anyway, for the longest time, I had been wondering what to do about my inner critic. I knew it was there. I didn't know how to make it go away or how to make it stop talking. As they say, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. I got back in touch with an old friend, Matthew Anderson, who is a yoga instructor and, for all intents and purposes, a life coach in my industry, and he lives not too far from here. We used to pal around, about a decade ago. Actually, maybe even more. Man, I hate saying I'm old, but, been around a couple of years. Something in my intuition told me to call Matt. When I asked him what was his favorite self-discovery book, he said, The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. I was like, okay, I think I might have heard of that, but let me check it out. So before I tell you what was so mind-blowing, let's kind of go back and I'll tell you who is Michael Singer and what is the book about. So The Untethered Soul, I think the tagline is The Journey Beyond Yourself by Michael Singer. It addresses the question of human identity, how to develop or mature your consciousness. It explores the meaning of life, the concept of self, and the theory of the mind. Whoa. Or should I say woo-woo? Definitely a little bit woo-woo, but I'm going to try and keep it not woo-woo for you. No woo-woo for you. So who is this Michael Singer? Well, he was a software developer, and I think the story goes he sold his company to WebMD or something. It was like a healthcare software that doctors can use to digitize records back in 2000 something. He wrote Untethered Soul in 2007, and he had already been kind of exploring the theory of mind along the way. He's an American author, journalist, motivational speaker, and his topics are spirituality, meditation, and New Age philosophy. He's since written 2 other books. His second book was called The Surrender Experiment, and I've had a ton of people tell me, if you liked The Untethered Soul, you need to read The Surrender Experiment, because I think he just goes into nature and lives there for months and months and just learns to deal with his own mind. Really, the only person you will ever live with for the rest of your life is yourself. So you might as well get cozy with yourself. Learn how to enjoy your time with yourself. Make your head a tranquil space. So when it was finally time to start The Untethered Soul, I was driving home down the street that I've driven on for years and years, just rolling down Gaffey in San Pedro. And here starts the book, and it's talking about your inner monologue, how it just keeps going and going. I don't know at what point it happened, but I literally felt like the top of my scalp was raising up off of my head. It was literally the sensation of my mind blowing when I was listening to just even the first chapter of The Untethered Soul. It was life-changing. It was amazing. Here is what affected me so much and is the number one thing that I have learned this year. Okay, let me break down the first chapter. Of course, nothing replaces actually reading or listening to the book, but I will give you my summary of the first chapter. If you take a minute and just examine or listen to the voice in your head, you will observe that the inner voice is always going. It pretty much never stops. That's why meditation is so hard, because our mind just wants to keep chatter. It's like he describes it as a roommate who just never shuts up and never goes away and is mostly annoying. It's always talking. And because you can hear the voice, that means that you are not the voice. Whoa. So what does that mean? If you are not the voice inside your head, then who are you? And Michael Singer goes into a whole description of who are you, but basically you are the observer. your soul, which we're trying to untether from our human experience to be just a soul observing the human experience. And so we are the quiet observer of our human experience. Now, why does your voice keep going and going and going? Because it is interpreting the world around you using your five senses and then filtering it through our past experiences and the stories that we have learned along the way. So think about that for a minute. If you are driving down the road, if you see a blue 1969 Chevy rolling next to you down Gaffey, you will see the blue color. You will see what kind of car it is. You might smell the exhaust. You might hear the engine. You will have thoughts about this blue 69 Chevy driving next to you based on your past experiences and whatever stories have come out of that. So perhaps your ex-girlfriend drives a blue 69 Chevy, and then your mind starts to say, whoa, I wonder if that's that person. And you kind of like get all flustered about that. And then you're like, oh no, it's not her. But remember what she did to me. And then you start having feelings about that. And it's your human interpretation of the world around you based on your five senses, based on your past experiences, and whatever traumas or triggers you have around that. We are basically recreating the outside world in our head. Whatever you're seeing and whatever's coming in, that is what is happening in your head. So is it going to be a tranquil place? Or is it going to be a chaotic, turbulent, toxic place? It's your choice with awareness. And finally, he concludes the chapter by saying, your problems mostly come from the commotion in your mind. The commotion that your noisy roommate makes, that is what is causing your problems. Your noisy roommate is causing your problems because it's making commotion in your mind and making your body feel things and produce brain chemicals because of your thoughts. And that is where being the observer of the voice frees you from the commotion. So for example, little old Megs was trying so hard to figure out, how do you make the inner critic go away? Well, first and foremost, you realize that the inner critic is not you. You are the quiet observer of the inner critic. And if it is not you, well, then you can simply just observe it, not judge what it's saying, and let it pass like a cloud. Now, you could even take it a step further. You could say, well, subconscious, we're not going to do that anymore. This is what we're doing now. We are looking for the good in ourselves. We are looking for examples of our bravery and our accomplishments, or whatever you might be looking for or trying to cultivate in yourself. And you don't have to go on the wild ride that your mind takes you on. Sometimes right before bed, when I'm trying to fall asleep, the lights are out, everything's quiet. That's when your roommate decides it wants to get chatty, right? Am I right? Do you find that when you're going to sleep or when you're quiet in the car and your mind just starts going, la, 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 what about this and this? And then, oh, you forgot that. And you're so lame. And why did you say that? And I wonder how he can do this. And, you know, all the things that it's trying to come to terms with, or just cannot stop obsessing about. What I've learned to do, and what Michael Singer suggests in this book, in order to make yourself more tranquil, is to just have the quiet observer say, hello, hello. And then all of a sudden, the roommate stops. And it just stops for a minute. And you have a moment of quiet. And it sounds so trippy because it's like, wait, what? Who is who? And what is going on here? It's like when a baby looks in the mirror for the first time, or like a cat or something, and it's like, what is that? It's like when you can acknowledge that inner chatter, and then also just say hello, and make it stop. It almost is like so trippy. I can understand how people don't even want to do that. It's like making eye contact with yourself in the mirror. It can be a little bit uncomfortable, but also I promise you, it will make you feel more at home, and it really will make your mind a peaceful place. So the most life-changing thing I have learned this year is what to do with my inner critic. I am just a quiet observer of the chatter in my mind, and it is not me. It's just my human experience interpreting the world around me. I highly recommend that you get yourself the Untethered Soul and go and read it and experience it for yourself, because I'm definitely not doing it justice. Although I love it, I love this book dearly. It has changed my life, and I hope it changes yours too. And I promised you a recap on how many coughing fits I've had. It has been 7 total in the last 30 minutes. Phew. Thank you so much for listening to me yammer on about the Untethered Soul. I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you. We're coming to the end of the year. This is a time when we evaluate what we've done over the last 12 months. We set intentions for the coming year. If you would like any support with the intentions that you're setting for yourself, I would love to be part of that for you. Habit formation, accountability, that's the kind of thing that I love to help people with and make positive changes, whether it's setting boundaries, being more yourself, self-trust. These are all kind of not very defined sort of things, but whatever that means for you, and especially nutrition goals and fitness goals. I'm here to help you. You know, the time is going to pass anyway. The year is going to go by each week, each month. So we might as well work together to make those changes for you. We are so much more successful when we have an accountability partner, and I am happy to be that for you. Thank you so much for listening to Megafest episode 10. I feel tranquil AF right now. I hope you do too. So please share, like, spread the love. Don't just manifest. Megafest!